Hey everyone, we are back today with a brand new video. This one we're really excited about. We have the brand new Garmin Approach R50 launch monitor. Yeah, this is the brand new one. Everyone's talking about it. There's a lot of hype around this one, so I don't want to delay. I want to get into this thing and see what it's all about. So let's get this box open, get the launch monitor set up, and we will try taking a couple shots with it. So let me take a peek in here. Convenient little handle for carrying the case around. Let's see if I can get this case out of here. Oh man, that's heavy. All right. So we have the launch monitor, and then it looks like a few different accessories to go along with it. In the accessories, looks like this is just power cable. I'm not sure if you can see inside of there. Just more power supply for the launch monitor. So it's got a pocket in the front, and then on the back, carrying handle, and then another storage pocket inside of which is club stickers. So you can get, I'm guessing that's going to be for more accurate club data as you're swinging. I don't want to open that up yet because I'm sure I will lose everything if I do. Yeah, the carrying case itself, I mean, it's got a couple of different handles that you can use to actually grip onto. It's got the connection points for the shoulder strap. It is pretty rugged. And then when we open it up, there it is, the Garmin R50. This is a lot bigger than I was expecting. Haven't seen the pictures online. I don't know why I was expecting a much smaller launch monitor, but there's that. And it looks like that's really all that's inside there. So it's a nice big display screen on top where you can see different courses. I'm guessing you'll be able to see your ball data on there. There we go, it just boots right up. That was a super fast load time, or you can get started. We're gonna wait on the actual setup on that. I'm gonna turn this around so we can see the back. You can see back here, it's got a handle, again, for carrying it around if you need to move it in your simulator or take it to a range. And then open this up to expose, it looks like a USB-C connection, an HDMI connection, and then the power. The design of it, I mean, this looks super nice. Like I mentioned, it is large, much larger than I was expecting. It's got a very sleek look to it. I like the back here. It's got these ridges in it that I think give it a nice look. The front, I mean, looking at this, you would never know it's a launch monitor. It's got all the cameras and everything inside of here. Looks like I could open it up if I want to, but I really don't want to right now. All right, so we are going to go through the setup process on the Approach R50. So this is the first screen that we see when we boot it up. English is already selected. So we will hit get started. We are going to connect to a Wi-Fi network. I don't think we have a Garmin account set up right now, so we are just going to do a guest profile. Let's make this one for Carl. Hit next. We are going to be a right-handed golfer. Units of measure. Statute? Is that metric or is that imperial? I'm gonna go with statute because we are not in the UK, and the other option is statute UK. So we will do statute. Yeah, and that's all there is to it. So now we can select from practice, we can play, and we can connect our R50 to run on other devices. Super cool. Super easy to navigate this thing too, just all right on the touch screen. So let's go, and looks like it gives you a few different options for practice. You got Crooked Creek, which has several different greens that you can hit from. You've got Green Valley with a fairway and several different greens, and then it looks like a bunch of island greens that you can hit too. But let's start off with just the regular driving range. So we can select from ball or ball and club data. Let's just stick with ball right now because I'm not going to put any stickers on my clubs. You can set your elevation, temperature, and target alignment. We'll just leave all of that at default right now. And we'll just say we're going to hit a 5-iron. All right, so we can see the driving range on here now. So we are going to move this over to an enclosure where we can hit, and we are gonna see what happens. All right, so we are all set up, ready to go here. This camera is here just so we can show you guys the display and what's going on here. We are gonna try to get this all hooked up to the projector, but we wanna make sure that you can see what actually is happening on the display if you don't have it hooked up to the projector. First thing I noticed when you put it down, I was playing around with this before, but you can move the golf ball in the Garmin. It's like a real-time update as to where the golf ball is. It will show you on the screen. It shows you very clearly where your hitting zone is. And when it's ready to go, it tells you ready to hit. I'm not sure if you can see, but down at the very bottom here, there's a light that will turn from red when it's not ready to green when it is. So let's take the first shot with the R50 and see what happens. So yeah, took a swing. You can see that registered almost instantly. That was really impressive. I wasn't sure what to expect there, but that showed up right away. Yeah, hitting a 5-iron 110 yards isn't super impressive, but I'm still not at 100%, so I'm just gonna blame it on my hand. But yeah, it registered right away. I feel like, you know, that is pretty accurate for the swing, where it started off a little bit right, or left, pardon me, and came back to the right, just like my normal shot would do. Let's take another shot and see what happens here. That one, I definitely felt like I pushed it, and again, almost instantly picked it up, and you can see that one started off right and just kept going. All right, so we've done a few shots. The next thing we want to do is try connecting the R50 right to the projector. There's an HDMI port built into the back of the launch monitor, so supposedly you can just connect that right to the projector, and it should work pretty seamlessly. So we've disconnected our computer over here from the projector we have here. So let's hook it up and see what happens. Okay, so we have everything connected up here. The display on the R50 is a 1280 by 800, which is a 16:10 aspect ratio, which works out well for us because this happens to be a 16:10 screen that we're projecting onto. We haven't looked at it super close. I don't think there's any adjustments available for the output when you're doing a direct connection like this, so we'll have to look into that a little bit later on as well. Let's take a shot, see what happens. You can see I hit, there was very minimal lag, and that's the flight path I would expect with a shot, where it starts off to the left, comes back to the right. You can see the driving range is all that you see on the screen. All the data is down here on the actual launch monitor. Nice big display, super easy to see. Everything that you might need. All right, so we heard there's impact replay. So let me just quick mess with some of the settings and let's see what we can find here. So I just hit the settings button. Let's look at the external display. The first thing I notice is you can see your shot data on the screen. So you can put that up there if you'd like. Okay, here we go, ball impact. Okay, so that's showing not an actual video replay, but showing where like your launch angles. Then, okay, here, this one is impact video. So it's not the clearest video, but you can, and it probably doesn't help that this is a black club, but you can see the club come through and impact the golf ball. Let me grab a silver iron and see if we can maybe see that a little bit better. All right, I'm just gonna take a shot and see if it comes through. Yeah, you can see it maybe a little bit better. But it doesn't help that we've got a lot of light set up here for filming, so it's really washing out that display quite a bit, so it's not giving probably the best image quality, just because of the multiple lights that we have shining right onto the screen. So we got set up with our Garmin account. We are logged in on the R50 right now. So I'm going through and using the Home T Hero. You can select different courses that you want to play. I'm just looking at nearby golf courses. Let's go to, let's see here. Let's just do Riverside Golf Course in Janesville. There we go. We're playing on a golf course. So just as simple as that. Again, no computer or anything. It's just running straight from the R50 up to the projector. And one thing we were talking about before was the aspect ratio. So again, the R50 is going to have a 16:10 ratio, but at least with our projector, you can go in and change your aspect ratio in the settings. So if you've got like a 4:3 screen, you can set it up in a 4:3 ratio. It kind of condenses everything down, so you'll see that everything looks a little bit squished. But that's really the only way to change the aspect ratio, because at least from what we've seen so far, you cannot change it from the R50. So I'm gonna go ahead and put that back to just the auto ratio, so it's filling the whole screen. And I want to take a shot real quick with this Home T Hero. Yeah, I definitely pulled that one. Holy cow. Yeah, I mean, that's really cool that we didn't even have to go through the computer or anything. It's super simple setup. All you have to do is download the course after you register your Garmin account, and you are set to go. So for our final thoughts on the R50, after just setting it up and doing a quick test with it, taking a few shots, overall, it's a really cool launch monitor. It's the first one I've seen like this, where you've got the full screen right on the launch monitor. You don't even have to have a computer or anything. You can just set it up and go. You could see how easy the setup was on this when you're connecting it directly to a projector. All we had to do was log into our Garmin account, make sure we were signed up for the appropriate packages, and then you can download a course and start playing. Or if you don't want to play courses, you just want to hit a driving range, it's even simpler. The feedback was pretty fast when you hit. There was maybe a very short delay until the ball registered and showed on the screen. And the data that it gives, at least with our few shots that we took, it seemed really accurate. Both Mike and I agreed that, you saw here on the Home T Hero, I hit a tee shot and I pulled it, and it definitely showed up as a pull on here. And you can see the different metrics that display on the launch monitor, so you get a lot of really good data to help improve your game. A couple of drawbacks might be, and this is a pretty minor thing I think, where on Home T Hero, if you want to re-aim your shot, you have to physically walk over to the launch monitor, lean down, make your adjustment, and go back to your ball, which even if you're using a real launch monitor, you'd still have to walk over to the computer. So not a huge deal, but if you've got back pain or trouble bending down like that, it could potentially give you issues. One other drawback to this is the fact that it's a ground-based launch monitor that is sitting right next to you. So if you have right and left-handed golfers, you'll set up your account, you tell it as you're setting up the user, whether they're a righty or a lefty, you'll have to physically move the launch monitor back and forth between right and left-handed golfers, where if you have an HDMI cord connected directly to your projector, that might not work so well. So if you're doing a direct connection like this, you probably want to stick with just righties or just lefties. It could be a little bit of a hassle if you've got both. Obviously with the R50, it's a nice upgrade over the R10. The R50 has the ability to connect to third-party software like GS Pro, which you couldn't do with the R10. And then it also can read putts, which is huge because you couldn't do that with the R10 either. So you can putt when you're actually on the green, which is a huge benefit for a lot of people. So final thoughts on the Garmin Approach R50 launch monitor. So far in our limited testing, it's been super impressive, really easy to use, really easy to set up. I can't wait to do some future testing to see how well it works with the third-party software like we just talked about. Overall, yeah, I think that this is gonna be a really good launch monitor for $5,000. It'll be interesting to see how it competes. That's everything we have today for the Garmin R50. Stay tuned in the future. We hope to do more testing. So make sure you like and subscribe so you can see those videos when they're available. And as always, we'll see you in the next one.